week 15. Welcome into Mind of McConnell. Start Sit Thursday. Thank you guys for checking us out, hanging out. We're going to get you right into, we're going to get you taken care of for week 15, a.k.a. round 1 of the fantasy playoffs, a.k.a. James Robinson week. That's right. James Robinson week. Fire him up everywhere. You are starting him over more than half the running backs that you are able to start him over. Big things coming this week for James Robinson. Urban Meyer got fired. He wasn't using James Robinson as much as we would have liked. Report came across the wire of Daryl Bevel, who's the interim coach, saying, hey, James Robinson's our starting running back, and we're going to play him as such. So James Robinson is in for a big week. And just so you guys know, before we get started, James Robinson is playing at home this week against a Houston Texans defense that is 29th in yards given up to running backs, 28th in the league, 2 touchdowns given up to running backs, and 26th in fantasy points given up to running backs. So James Robinson, the stars have aligned. James Robinson is in for a top 10 week at running back, and don't be surprised if it's top 5. So one of my favorite plays of the week is James Robinson. If you have him, get him in your lineups. All right, let's go. Brandon McLemore with the first question this week. Fields, Burrow, Wilson, who you got? I am going to go with Joe Burrow. I'm going to go with Joe Burrow, Russell Wilson, and Justin Fields. Those are really the 3 in that order that I'm kind of like, that's kind of where I'm comfortable at this week. I'm going to trust Joe Burrow. This offense, he's very good. The offense is very good. They're fighting for a playoff spot in the AFC. They're in the hunt. So I'm gonna put my trust in the guy that I've been trusting in to be a top 10 fantasy quarterback, and he is that currently. That is Joe Burrow. I mean, he's got C.J. Azuma, he's got Joe Mixon, he's got some offensive line improvement, obviously, this year, thankfully. He's got T. Higgins, he's got Tyler Boyd, and he's got Jamar Chase. And he's got a really good head coach and play caller in Zach Taylor. So I'm going to trust Burrow down the stretch here over those guys. If your gut is not as strong on Joe as mine is, then I think probably Russell Wilson would be my second choice there. So Burrow, Russ, and Fields in that order. Start 3, PPR, Keenan Allen, Hunter Renfrow, CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase. Well, you're never benching CeeDee Lamb. You're never benching Keenan Allen. So there's 2. Okay, and you've got a hell of a question here. So it's between Jamar Chase, between Hunter Renfrow. Look, I get it. Hunter Renfrow pretty much gives you that safer floor as of now. But to me, I just think I cannot advise somebody to start Hunter Renfrow over Jamar Chase. I'm going with Jamar Chase every single time. I don't think Renfrow's a bad play here. Of course, I don't think Renfrow's a bad play anytime Darren Waller is out. And Darren Waller has been ruled out this week. So Renfrow's a good play, but he's just never going to be as good of a play as Jamar Chase. So Jamar Chase is going to be the option for me. So Allen, CeeDee Lamb, and Jamar Chase are the 3 you're going to go with this week. What is going on with COVID and in the NFL all of a sudden? I don't know what's behind this blow up of cases. Hopefully, obviously Baker Mayfield's out and DeAndre Hopkins is out and Tyler Lockett right now is out. So it's hitting some big name players. I just hope it doesn't hit any of my big name players. I hope it hits yours if you play in me. But outside of that, yeah, I can't really explain it. I hope that maybe this week is the only week we got to deal with it, and then maybe next week, as we move into Week 16 in the second round of the playoffs, and even the first week of playoffs for some of you, hopefully it will kind of settle down and we'll be back to normal. So not really sure, can't explain it. Al Giamarino says PPR, start Daryl Williams tonight or hope Chase Edmonds plays on Sunday. Chase Edmonds was activated from the IR. Or designated to return from the IR. I believe that they activated him already. I can't remember, but he is supposed to play this week. So to me, I'm gonna go Chase Edmonds because first of all, I think he's more explosive than Daryl Williams, and I think he gives you a little bit higher of a floor in fantasy because he's probably gonna go back to operating as that primary pass catcher. And again, he's just more explosive. So to me, I'm going to go ahead and take Chase Edmonds. I think they're very close. I wouldn't blame you if you wanted to play it safe and go Daryl Williams. But to me, I'm going to go Chase Edmonds due to the higher PPR floor. Brandon McLemore, BMW, Big Mike Williams, T. Higgins, or Aaron Jones need 2 in PPR. Well, you're not going to bench Aaron Jones. So Aaron Jones is definitely going to be your option here. Normally, I would probably go T. Higgins, but I think tonight, this game has all the makings to be a shootout, a fantasy fest. And I do think that's what it's going to be. I think we're going to see a total score, accumulation of points probably in the 60s, high 50s, low 60s, I think. I really do. I think that's how many points we're going to see scored tonight. Chargers offense has been playing so much better. The Chiefs have obviously been playing so much better. And look, both teams are playing better on the other side of the ball as well, but I think this is just going to be a score fest tonight. So to me, I'm going to take my chance with BMW. I'm going to go Mike Williams. I'm going to go Aaron Jones this week for you. Let's see. Not so scary Terry McLaurin or A.J. Green. I'm not going to bench. I know that DeAndre Hopkins is out for the rest of the fantasy season, but to me, I'm still going to go Terry McLaurin. I'm going to take the young talent there. Give me Terry McLaurin over A.J. Green. I can't argue too much if you go AJ, but to me, I just think Terry McLaurin is still going to be more reliable even after AJ's big week last week. Zach Myers, Mooney, Freeman, Kirk, or Aaron Jones in the flex. Zach, you know better than this. You know the answer to that, Zach. You're not benching Aaron Jones. Al Giammarino, Jalen Hurts, or Dak Prescott. This normally it'd be like, oh, Dak Prescott, 100%. It is a little bit more of a question now. But I'm still not going to bench Dak Prescott for Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts coming back. You also got to, it's not just Jalen Hurts versus Dak Prescott. I know that Dak Prescott's not playing like normal. He's going to get back on track. He has to. But you also have to remember, Jalen Hurts is also coming off an injury. And he's also probably has a little bit of a shorter leash now after what Gardner Minshew did. So, I mean, in his starting stint for him. So, I think that this is a better question than normal. But, again, with coming off the injury, the weapons that Dak Prescott has, it's just hard to ignore. He's going to get on track. And, look, Tony Pollard's supposed to be back this week. That's the expectation right now. And that just gives him another weapon, especially in the passing game, out of the backfield. So, to me, I think it's Dak Prescott for sure there for you, Al. Risk DJ Moore starting and getting a solid workload, or plug in Pittman against a tougher matchup. So here's the thing with Pittman. A lot of people are probably looking at, Pittman versus the New England defense. I get it. I understand. Here's how I'm looking at it. Bill Belichick, what does he always typically do? I'm going to take away your best option, and I'm going to make you beat me in a different way. I think what he would rather do is take away Jonathan Taylor, or do his best to do so, and make Jonathan Taylor the focal point of the defense, and say, hey, Carson Wentz, you beat me. We're not going to let Jonathan Taylor beat us. It's going to have to be Carson Wentz. And so I think that's going to lend itself to Carson Wentz throwing more. I do think New England defense is a great play. I don't really like Carson as a quarterback play this week, but I can't really, at the same time, I think Pittman is going to get a lot of targets in this game. To me, I'm going Pittman. I'm going to take the better player. It's the fantasy playoffs. I'm not screwing around here. Like I'm putting. Imagine if you start DJ Moore, and he either doesn't play, doesn't get a solid workload, or just absolutely sucks, and Pittman goes off, and you lose that matchup because of that. You're going to feel so much worse than if you start your best lineup, your best players, and you lose, right? So, to me, look, I'm putting it all out on the table. Pittman's been the guy I've rode all year long. Start Pittman. Trust him. Trust your guys. I think you got to go Pittman over DJ Moore. Jared Cook or Kyle Pitts. I mean, I get why this is a question, but I'm going Kyle Pitts. There's just a higher ceiling. There's a higher ceiling for me. I can't. It's Kyle Pitts. I'm going to go Kyle Pitts here. Is Daryl Williams worth starting tonight in a flex spot over Jerry Judy? Yeah, I think he is. I do. I think he is. And I don't think either one of those guys are guys that you should be relying on. But if I had to put money on one or the other, I'm going to put money on the one that's probably going to touch the football more, and that's Daryl Williams. Even with CEH back, CEH obviously is going to get work in both areas of the offense, but so is Daryl Williams. So to me, I'm going to go Daryl Williams and just kind of hope that he like vultures a goal line touchdown or do what he did last week as well. So for me, I'm going to go Daryl Williams here over Jerry Judy. I just think it's a safer play there. Let's see. Van Bush, COVID hell week. Would you load up tonight even with less than optimal plays? It depends on your options. It really depends on your options. I understand people being a little hesitant, allowing more days to go by and more positive COVID tests to come back, but it's just a risk you got to run, I think, with your best players. So I guess it would depend on who you got in the chamber, but for me, I think I'm just going to kind of play it the same and just kind of cross your fingers, hope for the best. Let's see. Hey, Chris, 2 questions, bro. PPR. Start 2. CEH, Miles Sanders, Elijah Mitchell, Javonte Williams, Sony Michel. Thank you. Question 2, Gesicki or Freiermuth. All right, Freiermuth over Mike Gesicki every single week. I get it. Jalen Waddle's on the COVID list. He may not play Sunday. I don't care. Freiermuth is a tight end 1 in fantasy now, and Big Ben trusts him. Give me Pat Freiermuth all the rest of the way. The rest of the way, give me the animal, Pat Freiermuth. Now, for your running backs, it's funny because I have a similar situation in several leagues with 2 of these guys, Elijah Mitchell and Javonte Williams. I'm not benching Javonte Williams. You can't. It doesn't matter if Melvin Gordon plays or not. Javonte's going to get his. So you're gonna play Javonte. So now it's between Sony Michel, Elijah Mitchell, Miles Sanders, and CEH. It's not going to be Sony Michel over CEH or Elijah Mitchell, and it's not going to be Miles Sanders over Elijah Mitchell and CEH. So now it's down to CEH and Elijah Mitchell. Here's the problem. If Elijah Mitchell, it's going to be Elijah Mitchell head-to-head. If Elijah Mitchell were to play, if we knew he's going to play, this isn't even a question. It's Javonte and Elijah. The problem is we don't know if Elijah's going to play. Okay? He was working off to the side, I think, today at practice, so it looks like he's on the wrong side of questionable right now. It sucks kind of because tomorrow, Friday practice, is probably going to be the one that tells all. But then it's going to be too late because CEH is going to be locked. So if Elijah was trending toward playing and sort of on the more probable side of questionable, I would say Elijah Mitchell because of him and because of the matchup against the Falcons. However, I'm going to play it. It's the fantasy playoffs. Play it a little bit safe. Don't risk it that much, okay? CEH isn't a bad play tonight. I would go CEH, get him in your running back spot. Do not put him in your flex. And then go with Javonte Williams. And hope if you win this week, you will have Elijah Mitchell next week and you can bench CEH. So that's how I'm handling in one of my leagues. I have all 3 of those guys, and those are the 2 that I'm going with, Javonte and CEH tonight. Pick 3, Julio, Parker, AJ Green, Thielen, or Osborne, and DJ Moore. So, you can't trust Julio. I think if Jalen Waddle is out, you got to start Parker because he's the de facto wide receiver 1. So Parker would be 1. And then, of course, it's Thielen or KJ. Either one. I don't care who it is. Whichever one it starts, that's what you're playing. So it's Parker and it's Thielen or Osborne. And then it's between AJ Green and DJ Moore. And I think you got to go AJ Green. If DeAndre Hopkins was playing, I'd say DJ Moore easily. However, he's not. So AJ Green is the de facto number 1 receiver. So give me AJ Green. Parker, AJ Green, and then whoever starts for the Vikings. Evans, Pittman's, Diggs, Renfro, and Parker pick 4. It's just pick 1. Okay, you're never benching Evans, you're never benching Pittman, you're never benching Diggs. So it's not pick 4, it's pick 1, and it's between Renfro and Parker. I'll take the guy who's been better all year, who stays healthier, and I'll take the guy who obviously Darren Waller. I'll take the guy with the higher PPR floor. That's Hunter Renfro. Marcos Valdez, Herbert or Rodgers. It's fun. Here's another one. In one of my 1 QB dynasty leagues, I have that question tonight. Who do I start? Do I go with Aaron Rodgers? Do I go with Justin Herbert? Now, Justin Herbert he's a top 3 fantasy quarterback right now. He's been the better option the majority of the year. And I'm starting Justin Herbert this week over Aaron Rodgers. Look, whatever way you go, I can't blame you. Trust your gut. You're going to get great points either way, I think. However, I'm going to take the guy who's been better the majority of the year, who averages more points. They're at home tonight. Should be a shootout. What looks to be a shootout in a high-scoring game. Herbert's been phenomenal. He's given you no reason not to trust him. Keenan Allen's back. Austin Eckler is playing. I mean, there's nothing not to like here. So for me, I have this same choice, Marcos, and I am going with Justin Herbert over Aaron Rodgers this week. Starting Eckler and Keenan, kind of nervous about starting 3 Chargers in case they flop. Don't worry about that. My whole thing is I've never been concerned about starting 3 players in a single game. If it gets to 4, now I'm worried. But look, if you've got an elite 3 like Herbert, Eckler, and Keenan Allen, come on. I mean, think about it. If you had the Chiefs and you had Mahomes, Tyreek, and Travis Kelce, you're not thinking twice, right? It's the same thing here. You've got 3 elite options. You know what I mean? So you're going to start them every single week. You're not going to think twice about it. Matt Paquette says Burrow or Tannehill. Yeah, I'm going to go Burrow. I'm taking Burrow over Tannehill. Connor or CEH, I will go Connor. I know Chase Edmonds is back this week, and I know a lot of people are kind of concerned about Connor. What's his workload going to be? Look, he's going to be fine. He's still going to touch the ball probably 15, 20 times. He may not be the primary pass catcher. I don't know how they're going to work in Chase Edmonds, but this is Chase Edmonds' first game back, so he may get 5 touches. But look, trust James Conner. I'm going with James Conner over CEH. Ertz and D-Hop out. Higbee or Seals-Jones at tight end, and Mooney or Gage at wide receiver. I'll go Mooney at wide receiver over Russell Gage because it's a ceiling versus floor thing here. You're going to go, if you want the floor, I think you're safer with Russell Gage. If you want the ceiling, big play touchdown possibility, you go with Darnell Mooney. I'll go with Darnell Mooney here. And then at tight end, I'm going to go with Higbee. I'm just going to go with Higbee over Seals-Jones. I'll take the talent on the better offense. So give me Higbee there. Shanston says start or Jalen Guyton. Chancey, you're going to have to repeat that because I'm not sure what the question is. Aaron Jones just got tagged with an illness after practice. Hopefully it's non-COVID related. But right now, I think you don't panic on Aaron Jones. Right now, he should be fine. So just okay. Well, no, Chancey, I still don't know what the question is. Start or Jalen Guyton. I have no idea. So let me know. Write me back and let me know who your options are there. Mooney, Sutton, or Devontae Smith in standard. I will go with Devontae Smith. I'll take the best player there. Give me Devontae Smith. Al Giammarino, flex, Michael Pittman, or Daryl Williams. Flex, the best player who you've trusted all year long. Go with Michael Pittman. CEH or Antonio Gibson. You're going to go Antonio Gibson here. Take the better football player and take the guy who is the primary pass catcher. No J.D. McKissick right now, so Antonio Gibson is that dude, and he's been turning it on for the most part as of late. John Ciro, Rams D, Philadelphia D, or Cleveland D. I will go Rams, Philly, Cleveland in that order. And they're the Rams and Eagles are way ahead of the Cleveland defense this week to me. Taysom Hill or Carson Wentz, says James Trout. You're going to go Taysom Hill here. Normally, I may go, well, maybe not even normally I go Carson Wentz because Taysom's got this high rushing floor. We've seen it. He scored over 25 fantasy points back-to-back weeks, I believe. So you gotta roll with him. I mean, you gotta ride with him. He's red hot right now. So Taysom Hill over Carson Wentz. Matt Poe, thanks for all your help this year. I made the playoffs. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you. That means a lot. I hope that, best of luck. Bring home that hardware. I'm glad that I was able to help. That's what this is all about. That's what it's all about. Tommy Franco, great work, Chris, all season long. Well, we're not done, Tommy. We got a couple more weeks left, buddy. We're not done, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Best of luck to you. Jared David, who to play at defense? Chiefs tonight, Denver versus Cincy, or Cincy at Denver. I'll go Denver just because I don't really like any of these options, but I'll take the best defense, which is Denver, just in case there's some turnovers and things of that nature. Go ahead and give me Denver. Hurts or Taysom Hill? This is another option. This is another question where I've got to make the same decision this week. Right now, I think I would lean Taysom Hill. He says, just kidding. I've got 2 buys and a meaningless game this week. Thanks for your expertise this year. Hey, perfect, man. Hopefully I did something right to to help you get those bye weeks. So, hey, it's a great feeling when you get the bye weeks. I've got bye weeks in a lot of leagues as well, so it's a great feeling not to have to panic on a Thursday and try to figure out where you're going. Pick 2, Pittman, Renfro, or McLaurin. It's not going to be Terry McLaurin. I think it's either got to be Pittman or Renfro. For me, look, I think I'm still going to go Pittman here. I'm going to go Pittman here. I think Renfro is, well, no, I think I talked myself out of it. I am going to go Renfro here. I'm going to take Renfro. Oh, well, never mind. It's pick 2, so I can pick both of them. Pittman and Renfro. There we go. That's easy. Yeah, I would bench McLaurin. Andre Robinson, I have Kyler Murray, lost D-Hop. Who is the best pickup for a stack, AJ Green or Christian Kirk? I've had this question a lot this week. I think it's AJ Green. AJ Green over Christian Kirk. I'll take a guy probably who has a higher floor in AJ Green there. Tua Tagovailoa or Kirk Cousins. I'm going to go Kirk Cousins. Kirk has been money all year long. I don't see any reason, Adam Thielen or not, that's going to change this week. Give me Kirk Cousins. Plus, they are in the hunt for the playoffs, so they're really going to need to get in it. So I think Kirk Cousins is going to ball out, so give me Kirk Cousins this week. Let's see. AJ Green, Michael Pittman, T. Higgins, pick 2 for a wide receiver and a flex spot. I will go T. Higgins. I will go Michael Pittman, starting Renfro at the other wide receiver spot. Yeah, I think those are the 3 you got to go with. Pittman, Renfro, and T. Higgins there. Mooney, Rondale Moore, or Gabriel Davis. Rondale Moore is not great. He's not a great fantasy option, so you're not going to worry about him. I think you're going to go with Darnell Mooney here. Just play the ceiling. None of these 3 are great plays. Don't expect a lot, but I think Darnell Mooney's the most talented, and he gives you, I think he's probably the most reliable fantasy-wise. You have to pick one. Would you rather wet mayonnaise or sweat mayonnaise or wear wet socks for the rest of your life? Oh, that's a good one. I'll say sweat mayonnaise. I don't sweat very often anyway, so I'll say sweat mayonnaise. There we go. Sorry, Chris, got my leagues mixed up. Burrow or Jimmy G? Probably the same answer. It's closer, though, Burrow and Jimmy G. I think Jimmy's been playing some really good football, but I am going to stick with Joe Burrow. I am going to go with Joe Burrow. I'm going to go Joe Burrow over Jimmy G this week. Vikings, Packers, or Jacksonville defense? I'll go Packers. They're getting their best pass rusher back. They're getting some good players on defense in addition to him as well. So give me the Packers. Give me the Packers this week. Jeremy Highland, DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, Julio Jones, or AJ Green, pick 2. I'm going to go DJ Moore. I'll go AJ Green. DJM and AJG. There you go. Andre Robinson, Bills D versus the Panthers, Eagles D versus Washington football team. I will go with the Bills defense because you can't trust the Panthers offense. There's nothing scary about them. Cam can't scare you. Phillip Walker doesn't scare you. Bills defense, I think, this week. I think they're safe. Zeke or Edmonds or Pollard if he plays. Got to go Zeke, right? If Pollard plays, I am going to play Tony Pollard over Zeke. Now, you're not playing Edmonds over either one of them. Okay, let's just get that straight. Between Zeke, if you have to choose between Zeke and Pollard, you're going to choose. I think you're going to choose Tony Pollard. The floor with the pass catching, in addition to a big role running the football as well. Give me Tony Pollard. But if I have to pick 2 here, I'll start both Cowboys. I will start both Cowboys before I'll start Chase Edmonds, and I think you're safer that way. So Pollard, Zeke, Edmonds in that order, and then if you're picking 2, Pollard and Zeke. Matt Martino, Dak or Taysom? That's probably the best question of the night. That's the best question of the night, Matt, and I appreciate you watching from YouTube, by the way. Dak or Taysom? I'm going to go Taysom Hill. One of them's red hot, one of them's ice cold. One of them gives you that high rushing floor, one of them doesn't. I'm going Taysom Hill, man. I mean, I don't think either one of them's a bad play, and I can't blame you if your gut tells you to go Dak. I will not crucify you at all. But, man, I'm going to stick with the hot hand right now. I'm going to go Taysom Hill right now. Matt Stafford or Kirk Cousins? Hard to bench Matt Stafford. I think both are QB1s in fantasy this week, but it's too hard to bench Matt Stafford. Give me Matt Stafford over Kirk Cousins. Matt Martino, Foreman, Devontae Smith, Amon St. Brown, Sonny Michel, AJ Green, pick 1. I will go with Deontay Foreman and Devontae Smith in that order. So either if you don't like Devontae, or if you don't like Deontay Foreman, go with Devontae. If you don't like Devontae, go with Deontay. Either one of them, but I'll prioritize Deontay Foreman right now a little bit over Devontae Smith. Let's see. John's Hero, thanks, man, for all the season's info. Thank you, sir, for continuing to watch. We're not done. We got work to do, folks. This isn't the last week. We got championships to win, you guys. All right. Looks like the last question of the night. Actually not. PPR, James Robinson or David Montgomery? Hey, you must have missed the intro because it's James Robinson week, baby. He is an RB1 in fantasy. He's getting back to workhorse workload starting this week. Just absolutely deploy James Robinson every single place you have him. There's not many guys at all this week that you are going to start over James Robinson. I'm letting you know right now. James Robinson by a mile over David Montgomery this week. No Jalen Waddle this week. Cooks or Ayuk? I'll go with Brandon Ayuk. Jimmy G's been playing some good football. Brandon Ayuk's getting more involved. I think they trust him a little bit more. Give me Brandon Ayuk there. How about Russ or Tua? I will go with Russ over Tua, but it is closer than I think a lot of people would say. When is your next podcast? You haven't posted a new episode since October. I know there's been some things kind of going on. I had a job change and kind of had to get through that whole thing. That's behind me now, thankfully. So things are looking up there. I think it may be in the off season. I think once we get back in the spring, we'll do some scouting briefs for you guys for the draft. I did that, last year and the year before as well. So I think in the spring, I think it's probably going to be when we may return for that, just to kind of get some things kind of settled and reorganized a little bit. So look to the spring for some new Roto Bros episodes there. Higgins, AJ Green, or Beasley or Parker, pick two. I will go with Higgins. I will go with Devontae Parker. Just a little bit over Beasley. Give me Higgins and Parker this week. Debo or Ayuk? You know that answer. You're not benching. Debo is a top 4. I think he's a top 4 fantasy wide receiver this year. You're not benching him for anybody. It's Debo Samuel every single week. Don't overthink it. It's the playoffs. Don't get cute. Play your guys. It's Debo Samuel. Superflex, Carson or Cooks. Oh, Carson Wentz or Brandon Cooks. Okay. Because it's Superflex. Carson Wentz. Yeah, I don't care if it's New England. I'm taking the quarterback in the Superflex all the time. I don't care that he's playing New England. Carson Wentz for sure. Or Javonte Williams. Now you got me thinking. I think this might be where I go Javonte Williams here. I think I'm gonna super flex Javonte Williams over Carson Wentz. We're not going Brandon Cooks. Javonte Williams over Carson Wentz. You got me. There you go. All right, I think that's the last question of the night, guys. Listen, if there's anything else you guys, any questions you guys have that I missed, reply back. I'll do my best to answer those in the comments. You guys, listen. You guys, it's round 1 of the fantasy playoffs. It starts tonight. Chiefs Chargers should be a fantasy fest when it comes to scoring. Let's hope. We don't need no 10-7 bull crap. So let's hope that all that goes well. Andre Robinson actually has the last question tonight. Should I drop Landry to pick up AJ Green rest of the season? No, I wouldn't do that. Now that Odell Beckham's out of town, Jarvis Landry has a much higher floor when it comes to PPR. Go with Jarvis Landry. Hold on tight to him. He'll be fine over AJ Green. You'll be able to trust him more, I think, for the stretch. All right, guys, listen. Enjoy the game tonight. I will see you guys Sunday morning for Start Sit Sunday. You guys enjoy the game. Best of luck this week. Go win that title. And I am out.